Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, and today we're going to be doing a coaching session for a support Rakan, and this is at the very end of patch 8.11. So thank you very much to Bryant for the very generous donation. I really appreciate it. If you would like a coaching session yourself, you can just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. It's just $20. I'll do a great in-depth session like this where I have kind of the pregame. We'll watch the game itself. I'll take some physical notes, and at the very end, we'll bring it all together and give you the top 5 to 10 tips to help you really figure out the main things to focus on to help you improve at the very end. You can also become a member of the channel, and it's just $15 if you want to do that. If you become a PayPal member of the channel, the membership is $5 a month. You get a $5 discount on any coaching sessions you want, any guides you want to commission. You get access to the awesome Discord that we have. And you get to come out and play with us on Tuesdays if you'd like. Every Tuesday starting around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can come out, play a bunch of normal games with the rest of the community and me, and it's a lot of fun. So lots of perks there. It's a good time. And then if you can't make it out, then you can also vote on a straw poll for which champions you want to see me play during Members Night. So lots of good perks, and it's basically free if you want a coaching session anyways, because it's $20, $5 discount takes it down to $15. You know, the membership costs $5 to get it, which brings the total up to $20. So it's basically free. If you do one coaching session, the first time that you do it, you basically could get a free month's worth of membership if you'd like. And then if you just do one coaching session every month, then the membership's free pretty much. Okay, and if you do multiple coaching sessions or multiple guides, then you actually end up saving money. Okay, but that's if you're interested in that, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. I'm more than happy to set that up for you or to answer any questions that you might have. Okay, let's go ahead and get in here. So as far as Rakan goes, the runes that I recommend, I actually didn't write them all down here. Transcendence, and then Scorch, Bone Plating. Sorry, I had to help my wife with something in the other room, and I forgot I didn't type all those out there. There we go. So I've kind of changed my stance on Rakan since the last time I did a tier list a couple of weeks ago. I was playing him with Guardian, which I think is what Bryant's doing in this one. I was playing him with Guardian. But the meta has sped up way faster than I thought it was. When I first did that with the jungle changes, I thought that the jungle was going to slow down a lot. That's how it was marketed. When I started doing that, they're like, oh, we're going to slow down the jungle. There's too much early action. It sped up. Now people just like do scuttle and then gank bottom level 2 like every game pretty much. They just can't bottom the whole time. So it did not slow down. It sped up a lot, and especially because AD carries are so vulnerable right now. They're so just bad for the most part. If it's not Lucian or Kai'Sa or like a one-trick Draven player, it's going to be bad. So people just prey on it. It's a bunch of vultures just hanging around bot lane. So that means that you need to have a lot more aggression early on, because the laning phase matters a lot more, and games are so fast now. They're like, 25 minutes or less average game times. You just don't have time to get to the late game. You need to take over and just hammer people early. And so that's why I'm back to the Aerie build. I think that Aerie does provide you some pretty good Aerie and 3 points of Q in lane. Does provide you like decent harassment early on. It's not going to give you as much protection later on against assassins with Guardian, but you're basically just going to be sitting there like full mana or just not doing any damage early game if you don't take Aerie and if you don't have Scorch and multiple points in Q. And you just really need an early game, because Rakan's already really good in the mid to late game. Yeah, the Guardian build does make you a little bit better, but Aerie is so nice. And also, you can proc it multiple times in a fight with Aerie if you just wait. And especially when you're like taking objectives, you can shield somebody, wait until you get Aerie back, and then shield again, and then you can get multiple procs of that Aerie off in a lot of fights. So, I think over a long period of time, maybe like 5 to 10 seconds, it actually can end up being more shield than Guardian. Now, it doesn't protect you like Guardian does, but it can end up being a little bit more over time. So that's helpful. Nimbus Cloak's pretty standard. It's awesome. Now, I think Transcendence might be the place to go here, because on patch 8.12, they just nerfed Celerity again to where it's only 1.5% movement speed. This is so low now. Like, it's getting ridiculous, the amount of movement speed that you get off of this rune, right? So, like, if you have, 330 base movement speed, you're going to get, like, 5 movement speed off of this. Like, that's it. Like, literally just 5 movement speed. And then, off of this bonus, I mean, even with Nimbus Cloak giving you like 100 extra movement speed, and maybe, you know, with your ultimate, you're getting a little bit more like, I mean, I guess temporarily you could cap out and get to like, you know, 32 extra AP or something whenever you ult and go in when Nimbus Cloak triggers. You could maybe get to somewhere around 32 ability power, but that's only when your ult's triggering. It's only for a super small window of time. It's just not really worth, I don't think. So, you know, I'd rather have Transcendence, which, you know, only gives you 10% CDR. That's still more than 5 movement speed. You know, 10% CDR is about 270 gold worth of value, 266 gold worth of value, somewhere thereabouts. And so that's helpful. It doesn't come online until you're level 10, though, which is annoying. I wish it was 10 minutes instead of level 10, but so you don't get it a lot early on. But the nice ability here is that if you go over the CDR cap, then that actually turns it into extra ability power for you, which is a really nice conversion rate too, because you get 2 ability power for 1% CDR. So 1 CDR is worth about 26 gold, but 1 ability power is worth basically 22 gold. So basically, for a 26 gold converts over to 44 gold worth of value whenever you convert this. So it's a pretty good conversion rate. And this opens up builds to where you don't have to be afraid to go over the CDR. So you could go something like, if you wanted to, like Zeke's, and then Ionian Boots, and like a Frozen Heart or something later on, if you wanted to, and still not feel bad about going over the cap. So you could have CDR on all of your items if you wanted to. So it does open up and make some builds a little bit more viable. So, you know, the other option is Absolute Focus here, and that is still not that great. It's only when you're above 70% health, and it gives you some dinky number, you know, like 20 or 25 extra value. So yeah, I really wouldn't do Absolute Focus with him. So you can still stick with Celerity if you want, but I think 5 movement speed is so abysmal that I would just go Transcendence anyways. I mean, at least it's going to give you something at level 10, and even if you are at the CDR cap, then it's going to give you 20 ability power, which is roughly like a 400 something gold value, like a 440 gold value. So I think that's what I would do this day and age, just because it's just the best bargain in the tree at this point, because the 5 movement speed is just so ridiculous. But anyways, and then just Scorch is your last one, because you need that extra aggression early on. And then as a secondary, I think it's still just Bone Plating Chrysalis until proved otherwise. You know, it just gives you the most protection early on, and then Chrysalis transitions over to AP, which is a really good stat on Rakan, so I think that's good. Then I would probably go Ionian Boots. Now, the build is going to change a little bit depending on what is going on bot lane, which is a big question mark this patch. I have a whole video on that for people out there. Be sure to watch sort of in-depth explanation of alternative bot lanes. But you could have anything from Lucian to Vladimir to Mordekaiser to Irelia in the bottom lane. And so it's really going to depend on what's going on. Now, if you have a traditional AD carry who scales with attack speed, so like a Lucian, a Kai'Sa, you know, a Kog'Maw, something like that, I think Zeke's is still the best first item to buy. Zeke's is good even if they are something like a Jhin or an Ezreal who doesn't scale that well with attack speed, but they're just going to have a lot of on-hit damage, because Zeke's gives you extra damage on hit, basically 25% extra damage on hit as its passive. So that's still pretty good, but Zeke's is not going to do a lot if you have like a Vladimir bot lane, right? Or if you have a Mordekaiser bot lane. Probably not going to do a lot. I don't think. I would have to look up how that interacts with Mordekaiser and his on-hit on his Q. Let me see real quick, because we're probably going to be seeing a lot more Mordekaisers bot lane, potentially. I don't necessarily think that you have to go something like Mordekaiser. I just think a lot of people are going to see pros doing it, and they're going to want to try it out. Deal bonus magic damage. Zeke's is worded in a really weird way. I think it's the base damage. I think if it has modifiers on it, I don't think that it works with modifiers. So it says Basic attacks burn their target, dealing 50% bonus magic damage. So I think that's on the base attack damage. But this is a modifier to the damage on Mordekaiser. So his auto attack actually does this. It doesn't say on hit damage. It says deals bonus magic damage. Does that say that it's on hit? Does not apply spell effects. The enhanced attacks will apply on hit effects if they can apply basic attack damage. Okay. I don't know how Zeke's interacts with this. It might just be the base damage, but because this doesn't say that it's on hit, it says they just deal bonus magic damage. It doesn't say that it's on hit bonus magic damage. It said it's just deals bonus magic damage. In other words, I'm wondering if, like, Zeke's would add an additional 25% damage to whatever this number is as well. That would be really good on Mordekaiser. So the jury's out on that one. I don't know. We'd have to go to the Reddit, like, you know, Mordekaiser mains to figure that out, probably. Either way, Zeke's might be okay on him, but like on someone like Vladimir, you know, you're not going to want to get a Zeke's early. You wouldn't want to get Ardent Censor on Vladimir, or if you have a Vladimir on your team, or a Mordekaiser, or something like that. You probably wouldn't want to get Ardent Censor, so you'd want to switch that up probably for something like a Shirelia's Reverie. Even after the nerfs, it's still going to be pretty good for champions that want to close the gap, like a Vlad, like a Mordekaiser. Shirelia's can still be really good. And then maybe new Athenes, like Athene Shirelia's could be a good alternative build. If you can't go Zeke's Ardent. The problem with that is you're going to be really squishy if you do that, so you got to be careful with that. You could also opt into something like a Frozen Heart if they have a lot of auto attackers and you want to be even more tanky. Not in love with that option, but you got to get a little creative if they're going to have, if you don't have an auto attack based bot laner. I mean, you could still get Zeke's if you have something like a Master Yi in the jungle or just some other auto attacker on your team. But just be aware that this can change in this meta pretty rapidly and that you might want to substitute at least one of these for Shirelia's if you have a Bruiser bot lane. And then like maybe Athene's. That does give you some magic resist. Like, it's possible you could get Athenes. It's possible you could just go Redemption. Even after the nerf, it's probably still okay. I don't know. It's going to get really interesting with the itemization choices. But if you have a traditional AD carry, then this is a really good build. As far as the build, you get 3 points of Q in lane, 2 or 3. If you're losing the lane terribly, you might just want to go for 2 points in Q. But get at least 2 or 3 points in Q, and then max W, and then max E after that. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the game here. I don't want to spend too long on the preamble. Oh, it's a baby. Oh, are you grumpy? Are you frumpy? Are you a little grumpy? Grumpy, baby? She's putting her head down. Oh my gosh, she's so grumpy. She's like, I'm not even looking at that camera. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Is that right, Rory?
Sleep all night.
She's mad.
I wanted to sleep all night.
She is upset. She's not feeling good about that. Mommy's being mean.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions
That's right.
spawn.
Everyone is judging you right now on the internet. That's right. That's right. How dare you?
Minions have spawned.
Okay, yeah, so it looks like you went for kind of the Guardian build. Yeah, I would go for Airy now. Like I said, I think Guardian was like, there's a time and a place for Guardian, but I think that since the meta is so fast right now that you just really got to have a bit more presence. What's even going on up there? Okay. Alright, so this lane, Kai'Sa started Sapphire Crystal. Yeah, you need to punish that. Hit her with a Q when you're walking by. Unless it was on cooldown. Gosh. Wait, they don't have a jungler? Okay. They don't have a smite. They just have 2 top lane, pretty much. Okay. Yeah, so you should be able to play super aggressive then if there's no chance they're gonna... Now, they do have 4 teleports, though. But if there's not, like, a jungler to gank you, then... Just run, yeah. Yeah, try to throw some more Qs on him. Okay, that's a good escape.
Headshot.
Yeah, I would definitely put your ward in this bush rather than that bush because you need to keep eyes on Thresh. Now, Thresh is basically out of mana right now, so yeah, go healer.
Headshot.
Okay, good.
Headshot.
Yeah, y'all should be able to just press up on them a lot because they just don't have a jungler, so... I mean, she's really low. Like, y'all... If he hooks you like that... Let me back this up a little bit. If he hooks you like that, I think... If you just, like, dodge his play... Like, or after he plays you like that... Let me see. When he steps out like this... I think you can just W onto him. So he doesn't have any cooldowns anymore. I would just turn around and pop him. Just W him... Q him in the face, and then just auto-attack him down. Because you have minions in your favor here. She's really low. She's clearly not interested in fighting. And this Thresh is really far out of position. You guys have quite a bit of health. So yeah, I would just turn around and pop him. You could knock him at least half his health out. Just punish him for being that greedy. So don't think that you automatically have to run away from this guy whenever he... I mean, he has heal, too. They don't even have Ignite, so, you know... And they have a teleport, so you guys have better combat summoners than they do. So yeah, don't be afraid to be aggressive with this dude. Even if he hooks you, like, you can turn it around on him. Rakan does a pretty good chunk of damage early. No, not under tower, though. I like the W, but just W the Thresh there. Now, he used heal, though, so that was still a win. It was still a win. Yeah, I would get a few points of Q in lane here. I know that's contrary to what I said, you know, last week, but it's a very, very dynamic meta right now. Like, it changes almost day to day. I think it's just a little too fast for that. I'll just go ahead and back. Just go ahead and back. While she's pushed in. Yeah, just back. Just back. You guys need to buy, because she's going to have a big advantage on you now. See, now, if you ever... I mean, I guess if you push them all the way in, you might be able to back. Before she pushes into you. But, like, usually when you push into their tower, you want to back then, because then they're not going to have enough time to push into your tower. And then it makes it to where they can't freeze it also. Because it's in their tower, so... Their CS are going to build up here while this is getting cleared, and then when it moves forward eventually, then they're going to have more CS stacked up on their side than your side. And so it's going to force it to push towards you. So that makes sure they can't push it into your tower because it's already in their tower by the time you get back, and it also makes sure they can't freeze it. So like right here, you want to back. Yeah, y'all need to back. Thresh is already bought. He's going to get a lot more money than you now. You're both probably sitting on what? Like, she's probably got like 1,500 gold or something. Yeah, she has 1,600 gold and you have 1,000. You needed to back. See, now you're not going to get a preferable back, because if you back now, when they're pushing into your tower, you're going to miss a lot of CS and experience. So this is just too greedy. I mean, this is a, and just tell her that. Just say, hey, let's go ahead and back. Let's buy. And just ping your gold. And just start backing in a bush. Like, 99% of the time, they'll just go ahead and back. Even if they say something like, wait, if you just do it, they'll do it. And you're helping them make the right decision. Because right now, even though y'all are up in CS, you know, you have an extra 16 CS on them, it's not really an advantage because you haven't spent any gold. So they're ahead of you. Like, she's got 2 longswords on you. He's got extra health. And he's getting extra gold. The longer he stays in this lane, he's getting more gold than you. So every coin he gets is 40% more gold. So he's getting 25 gold coins, and you're getting 15. So you guys are going to back now, and you're going to miss this whole wave. So that's going to be maybe 17 gold on average for these minions times 6. Be like 102 gold, and then the cannon is probably worth like at least 50 here. So you're probably missing like 150 gold. And like somewhere between a third to a half a level because you guys mismanaged your back. And if they had a jungler, if this was a more standardized game, then they could have done the dragon off of that too. So like back timings are really important, and you always want to do it when you have them pushed in, because once again, it doesn't matter how much gold you have like in the bank. All that matters is how that gold is translated into items. And how those items are translated into power.
Headshot.
You need to be taking mental notes of this. Mundo 2 is going to be massive, so you need to try to plan around that. Just say, look, we're going to try to avoid Mundo and make plays elsewhere on the map. Now, she has no mana right now, so you could definitely fight her. Just R all in them, force their flash. Then next time your R's off cooldown, you could get it. Let me write some of this down. Okay, good. There you go. Yeah, force that flash out of there. That's good. That's good enough. That's good enough. Oh, nice. Uh-oh. Damn, that's really loud. Turn it down a little bit on my headset. Yeah, help her push with like W. Like you can W the wave. Like if you're trying to put, you got, once again, y'all need to back here because they're gonna be back in probably like 15 seconds or less. You're not gonna get the tower, and what's gonna happen is you're gonna back when this is in the middle of the thing, in the middle of the lane, and then they're just gonna push you into your tower. So you need to W this right now. Like just W this juicy pile right here to set it up for her. Now sometimes that's dangerous if you're afraid the jungler might show up, but in general, that's something that you need to do if it's safe and feasible, if you have enough mana and all that kind of stuff. Y'all definitely need to back, like 100% right now. This is like last chance. And you're still gonna miss CS. Now she can come over here and stop this too, especially if that's warded. Really need to buy. Thresh is gonna interrupt you. Yep. So you missed your window. So now they're actually probably a little bit stronger than you, even though you just won that fight because they have full mana and health. Okay. Well, you did get your back, but, you know, once again, you're probably going to miss at least a wave here, so that's going to be another 150 or so gold, half a level of experience. So if you guys would have backed better, you probably both could have been like level 8 now. And she would have been able, oh my gosh, she go in Infinity Edge first item. And she would have been able to get, you know, maybe one more thing, maybe like one more dagger, like attack speed dagger or something like that. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it certainly does add up. Probably going Zeke's, yeah. That makes sense. Okay, good. Yeah, W her. Yeah, Thresh is fine too. No, stay on him. You're full health. She's full health. Don't be afraid with Rakan to just, like, get autos in there, you know? Like, if you're full health and you're winning the fight, just auto attack. See, if you auto attack Thresh, like, just one more time there, and he's probably dead. Maybe twice more. But just walk him down and just keep auto-attacking. Just auto, walk, auto, and just walk him down to the end of the lane. Like, there's no reason not to keep fighting that. Because you're both super healthy. There's no way they're going to turn it on you. Yeah, you need to run the turn. Yeah, especially without a jungler. You don't really... I mean, they could teleport behind you or something, but... Yeah, I would have been way more aggressive on that. Just, I think it's easy to forget with something like Rakan that you can actually auto. Just because we're used to thinking him as like just not doing that much damage. Oh, he's just a support, but like auto attacks add up. You know, he walked away with what, 40 health or something. You guys end up getting him in the long run, but if he would have just backed and healed, that wouldn't have been on the table. But auto attacks add up, even support auto attacks, you know, 40 damage here, 40 damage there. You know, that stops people from walking away with that 1% health that they had if you didn't auto. Also, if you had Aryan Scorch, he would have died as well. A lot easier. But, I mean, overall, you're doing really strong in the lane. Unfortunately, it looks like Caitlyn is probably going to get out. This is another... I mean, that's the biggest thing is y'all have to back. This is like the third time that you've overstayed. And I know it's not your fault. Like, you're trying to back. And she's just backing in a terrible spot and keeps getting stopped. But you just got to complete your channel if that happens. And just say, whatever, I'm going to get my stuff and I'm going to come back.
Godlike.
I don't know, like, at that point, maybe, maybe you have to stay after they stop you once, just because you know Mundo's he's there and he's gonna take the tower. But I don't know, honestly, if y'all could have even defended it. You need to tell her, too, if you're watching the items, which you should be on tab. I think it's okay to tell her, hey, you know, they changed Infinity Edge this patch. You need to get a Zeal item first, just something like that. Say, hey, be careful, they changed Infinity. Because there's a pretty good chance she didn't even read the patch notes, so she just thinks, like, maybe it's her first time playing Caitlyn, and she just looked at a guide online that, like, isn't up to date. Because she got Infinity Edge, and this is absolutely worthless. Like, she's basically wasting, like, over 1,000 gold. So, I mean, that's pretty much like minus 30 CS. Probably even more than that. Because Infinity Edge, like, doesn't have any effect if you don't have any critical strike. You're literally just paying 3,700 gold for 80 attack damage. the 80 attack damage is worth like 2,500 gold or something. So she's wasting somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200 gold. Oh, nice! I didn't even know that went through a build like that. There you go. Yeah, get those autos in. Oh well. I think maybe you could have given that to Caitlyn, but to be honest, if she's buying Infinity Edge first, maybe it's better that you get it. If we're being honest. Just because maybe you'll put the, you know, put it to better use here. And what are we getting now? Mikhail's or something? Just a null magic? I don't know what you're buying. So Caitlyn's basically worthless right now. Who's, like, maybe you play around Pike? So if that's the case, maybe, maybe Redemption here? I wish Rakan was coded as melee so that he could get Knight's Vow. That would be glorious, but he's already, like, really good. I mean, maybe the correct move is just to get Knight's Vow here, even though you only get half benefit out of it, just because that can help Pike survive longer. I don't know. Maybe Shirelia's? Maybe Shirelia's, just to help Pike get in there. I don't think Arden's going to matter that much. You could go Arden also if you really want to. I'm thinking with how clowny this game's getting, just how much of a fiesta this is, like maybe you should just go ahead and get Shirelia's. Oh man, he's got to really learn how to stay with that. Okay. I would have given that to Pike, probably. So, like, usually you want to go all in and try to get kills if it's contested, but, like, the Thresh is, like, 100% dead there, you know? Or, like, when the Caitlyn was ulting, it's 100% dead. Taking a kill from the Caitlyn is, like, okay, sure. But, like, the Pike, you really need him to be big. Because Akali's not, it's not happening. This game with Akali, Pike is really your major way to win here, potentially. Yeah, Soul's a big problem. Yeah, E off. No. They're all gonna be there. Okay. Yeah, it's not. Well, he got some really good bounces there. Jesus, they stood right next to each other. Okay. Yeah, y'all need to take that win and get out, because they definitely could have killed y'all in that. Where's Budo? Okay, there's Ice. Okay, there he goes. Well, we tried to ult a full health Mundo. Of course, he was gonna die anyway, so why not? No. You just let her die there. If she wants to do that, just let her die. Okay. So yeah, I just wrote down, just let silly allies die. If people are doing dumb stuff, just let it happen. You know, ping them back, say, whoa, you know, you need to be communicating, saying things like, well, back up, Mundo's huge. Like, ping his items, you can ping, you know, Phantom Dancer, Spirit Visage. But definitely don't go in there with suicide. If it looks like a really bad situation, just get it. I just said try to give over the guaranteed kills if you get a chance. Like, usually it's not a big deal, but like if it's like 100% they're gonna get it, try to give some of your heavy damage dealers the kills. What are you working? Oh, you're getting ZZ Rot? I wouldn't do ZZ right here. I think that's ZZ. It might be Banner. Banner's not an option in 7-12. If it's ZZ Rod, I wouldn't do that just because you're not going to be close enough to use it offensively. You're just too far behind. Like, you might be thinking, maybe I can use this defensively to, like, hold towers. It's like, maybe, but I feel like just having something more proactive to help you make picks is how you win this. I think they're just going to be able to siege you out. I don't think you guys have very good siege. I think just trying to pick them off with good vision, which reminds me you need to have a lot more vision down. I think just trying to get picks with Pike is the way that you win. I don't think you're going to win a siege fight. So I would get something that helps with that. Either more damage, modifiers like Ardent Sensor, or Shirelias to help you run people down and catch them out. You could also go Righteous Glory, but I like Shirelias a lot more. But yeah, I don't... ZZ's just not going to do enough, because this game's not coming down to sieging, it's coming down to if you can pick people off. Like, that's the main way you can win. And, like, the thing with vision is, just as you're walking, just drop wards. I know it's easy to forget that when you're rotating from point A to point B. But, like, when you're walking over this fight, for example, just drop a ward over this wall, just on the way. Just why not? Just drop a ward here, drop a ward in this bush. Just whenever you're going to a hot area, just start dropping wards everywhere. Just to make sure that people don't get caught out. Just think, where could they come from? You know, like, could they come at us over this wall or somewhere else and just put vision up? And then so it doubles as helping you in the immediate fight, but then you have wards down for later also when you're on your way. You may not always have time to clear enemy wards if you spot them, but you do always have time to drop them. So, like, right there, just drop a ward in that bush while you're just standing there, you know? Okay, good. Go back to your team, go back to your team. E out of there on her. See, now she's probably gonna think that, like, that she's buying, like, a really good build. Like, she's didn't even read Infinity Edge. I'll guarantee you she didn't even read it. She just bought it out of the shop. I mean, her like, this is why stats are dangerous. Like, her stats look good, right? You know, she's up 70 CS, and she's 6-3, which looks really good, but, like, her build is a huge problem this game. If she had a proper build, y'all would probably be winning these fights. If she went, like, Storm Razor or something early, or even if she just went, like, Static Shiv first or something instead of Infinity Edge. What do you get? Still working on your item. Yeah, you need to direct your team, dude. Just tell them to chill. Like, y'all have to probably give this up. There are not enough people here. Well, maybe. Everyone's showing up. Brand's not here, but, like... Okay, yeah, take it. I don't know how y'all won that. I guess Mundo wasn't there. Mundo and Soul weren't there. Y'all need to go. Get it. Are they, like, trying to duo Baron or something right now? I'm curious. Are they on Baron? What are they doing? Just, like, AFK. Is Mundo, like, seriously just AFK in the jungle? No, he's just farming jungle. who needs a red buff when, or who needs a red dragon when you get a red buff, am I right? Yeah, you probably just needed to... You could have maybe dashed over this wall or tried to get away from it. It's gonna be sketchy though. Well, he doesn't have his ult. That soul is a big problem. God, they're all chasing him. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be rough. Okay, he clipped him with the corner. Nice. Yeah, y'all need to back up. You need to ping him back. Get him out of there. Out of here. No. Soul is so massive right now. I mean, just look at his health bars. You don't even have to look at his items. He's got like 3,000 health. 2,700. Yeah, I really don't like ZZ here. If you're gonna place a ZZ, don't place it near the wall, because they can just auto-attack it over the wall. If you're gonna place a ZZ, it needs to be back a little bit, like maybe here. Yeah, once again, I don't like ZZ just because I think ZZ is best used offensively these days. Now, back in the day, in Season 6, yes, I use it a lot defensively, but they've nerfed it now to where the minions just die a lot faster and they don't do as much damage as they used to. Minion waves. Yeah, just let him die. You see, it really didn't add that much siege defense. Like I said, I think that just going with something to help your offensive capabilities, specifically to help Pyke out, because he's really the only person on your team doing real damage right now, would have been better. So yeah, I think either Shirelia's would have been my #1 pick, or Ardent Sensor. Like, ZZ Rod is really, if you're pretty far ahead and you're wanting to siege the enemy team and your team just has terrible siege, like since Banner got removed, or is getting removed on patch 8.12, this is patch was 8.11, then I could see like ZZ as being sort of like an alternative if you desperately need siege because you have like, you know, a duo bruiser bot lane or something. Like a Rakan Mordekaiser or something. I guess Rakan's not bruiser, but duo, like, short range bot lane. But yeah, when you're on the back foot, probably not what you want to do. Yeah, so the big way that I think you guys could potentially have won this, and maybe you still could, would just be get better vision down. Just have a lot more vision on the map. Buy a lot more control words. Have you bought a control word this game? I'm not sure if I've seen you buy a control word. There's not one on the map right now. But you need to be using control words. I have a whole video on vision called Vision Domination on the channel that you should check out. And then I also talk about vision in my 5 tips for better macro video. Yeah, you need to work on that vision game a little bit, and then use that vision to try to make picks. So you have 2 assassins on your team with Akali and Pyke, and they have, you know, some really vulnerable champions like Kaisa. Ari's not that vulnerable, I guess, but because I just don't think when you're this far behind with your team comp that you're like, you might be able to win a 5v5 with Brand, but I think the easiest thing is just to get a numbers advantage, just pick them off, just 2v1, just keep catching them out of the jungle. Especially, I'm not sure which elo this is recorded at, probably guess bronze or silver. People aren't going to respect wards, like they're just not going to think you ever have anything warded. And so if you just ward, you can get some easy picks with Pyke and Akali. Not only does that give you some incremental gold to help you get back in the game, but it hurts their morale a little bit. You know, if you pick off and kill Kaisa like 5 times, for example, they might start raging at her. So yeah, just getting a couple of picks on people, I think, is probably the best thing with your comp. Rakan's very good at that. Rakan's very flexible because he can do pick comps, but he can also do team fights. So you can adapt. So I would have adapted to go for the Shurelias, and then lots of vision, and just go for the pick. Maybe Knight's Vow. You know, if you feel like you need to be a bit tankier, just I would at least get a Knight's Vow instead of like a Zizirot, just because it's going to give protection to somebody else, and it's going to give you some healing off of their damage.
Unstoppable.
Yeah, they're probably going to get Baron. I'm not sure if y'all can stop that. Well, they don't have Smite, actually, so if they try to go for Baron, then you might be able to potentially pick them off. I forgot they don't have a jungle. Maybe one of them, like, just forgot to take Smite. Maybe that's what happened. Like, Mundo was supposed to take Smite or something, and he just forgot. So he's just like, okay, whatever, I'll just play. I mean, I've definitely lost games before too where the jungler didn't have Smite. Where their jungler didn't have Smite. Rare, but it definitely happens. Yeah, so even though you only get half value on the Knight's Vow, I think that still helps somebody else out, right? It's not just a solo stat. It's not a stat that's just for you. You always, whenever possible as support, you want to get things that give your teammates extra benefits. You don't want to get solo stat items a lot of the time. You need to have utility. Yeah, you see the Zizirot's really not, like, counter-pushing or deterring. Did you see how much damage it did to that? Like, look, hold on. Like, look. Boom. Like, that's how slow it pushes after the nerf. Look how little damage it does to these things. I just want to pause and go back and look at this because I've had other people talk about Zizirot, and I've thought about it some, but, like, I just want to slow down for a minute and just watch the Zizirot. Just watch how little damage it actually does to these minions. Look at that. Now, I did a lot on that one because that was the fourth one that gets bonus damage. Like, it gets one hit and dies instantly. Like, it might kill one minion per 30 seconds or something. They die too quick and just don't do enough damage. They get like one auto off before they die, and they do like 30 damage or something to a minion. So that's the thing. Like, they used to be a lot more sturdy. They used to not die for much longer, and they could stack up and a bunch of them would do damage. But now they just die so quickly. But yeah, that's the issue. Is it's just they're just too weak. The minions are. So they still do pretty good damage to towers, but so yeah, they do solid damage to towers, but as far as like pushing back minions, they just don't do a lot. I think they do the same damage to towers they always did. It's just like the damage to minions got hurt really hard. Like their health got hurt really hard. Well, you got Soul. same thing with Iceborne Gauntlet. I just think you need stuff that helps allies out more.
A summoner has disconnected.
Yeah, Shurelia's or Val. Y'all can't fight him. It's always AFK. Y'all can't fight that. He's got to lay down that objective. I guess y'all did win it. Okay. I stand corrected. Somehow you won a 4v5, even though you're down probably like 15,000 gold. Okay, Soul wasn't there. Soul's trying to backdoor. Okay, so it's basically a 4v4. Okay, he's got a really good engage. Well, Caitlyn finally got one crit item at least. Wait, how did that work? Okay, well, you push middle? Yeah, y'all were like running around looking for kills in the jungle. I would push something, either bottom or middle. You guys have to get something off of that. Yeah, let's get this tower and run away. I mean, if you want to go more damage, like if you're thinking you want Iceborne Gauntlet and you're just like, you know what, my team doesn't do enough damage, I just want some power here, you could go for something like Proto Belt or even Death Cap. Keep in mind that like Ardent Sensor and Shurelia's both have AP though, so that does help you do more damage. Like if you want just more damage, like you could go for something like a Proto Belt Death Cap build if you wanted to. I don't always recommend that, but if you're in a situation where you're like, man, my team's just not doing damage, like, that is an option. Rakan does have really good AP ratios. Ice's got Infinity Edge also with no other threat items. Okay. Well, let's see what we can help you out with here. Alright, so biggest thing right off the bat is be more aggressive in lane. So you always want to punish whenever they miss a an ability, right? So if Thresh misses a hook or a flay or whatever, or if they're just like really low mana and they can't cast any more spells, or you see like Kaisa use her Q on a wave, whatever, you know it's not going to be up for another 8 seconds or so, you need to try to look and see, is there an opportunity? Can I do something with this? And then try to engage and fight them, because if they don't have their abilities, then they're not really going to be able to fight you back. So if Thresh misses a hook and you're in like a decent position, then see if you can W in and start a fight with him. So you're going to be up a lot of extra resources on him. Or if they're like out of mana, you know, if they're just sitting there at like 50 mana and you have full mana or full health, go in there for a trade, fight them. You know, just use all of your resources. If you have an advantage, either cooldowns or health or mana, then use those resources to help you out. Especially if you look at their summoners at the start of the game, and if the AD carry takes something like Teleport, which is becoming more popular, you should be able to win every all-in theory, because they're not going to have another combat summoner, because Teleport doesn't do anything in a fight. Right, so if your team has Ignite and Heal, sort of the classic combo, and then they only have Ignite, or they only have Heal, then you're going to have a huge advantage. I mean, Ignite level 1 still does like 300 true damage or something like that. It's just obscene how much damage. Maybe it's not that much, but it's a lot of damage. So I think that you should definitely try to leverage that and be a bit more aggressive in lane. So try to land Qs whenever you can, but also if you see them miss a hook, or you see Kai'Sa like use her Q or whatever, see if you can go in and ping your allies. So just ping, like don't ping them, their character, but like ping going in like 3 times, and then just go. And hopefully they follow you up. With Rakan, the nice thing is if they don't follow you up, you can just E and get back out. So you can at least do a little bit of damage. Just W, Q, point blank, hit them in the face, auto attack, and then E back out is a really simple trade. Or if you're winning the trade like we saw earlier with that Thresh, just you don't have to run away. Just keep walking them down, autoing them. If you're at full health and they're losing the fight, don't be afraid to just keep walking at them and autoing them. So that's the number one thing, I think, is just have more presence in lane, be a bit more aggressive. Also, taking Airy and Scorch will help you out a lot with that, and getting like 2 or 3 points in Q. Because I think that's what you have to do. You just have to have a lot of presence in the early game because there is no late game. It's just early and mid, and then the game's over by like 25 minutes most of the time. That was a kind of long game, but a lot of games are getting much shorter. So that's number one, is try to be a bit more aggressive in lane. So back sooner when you have an advantage. So after you get that kill and you push the wave in, remember that you're only going to get like 1.5 waves max. You can push the current wave in and maybe get 1 more wave, and then you have to back. Because whatever their spawn timer is, it's going to take them 30 more seconds to get to the lane. And then, like, typically to like walk, it depends on their boots and their abilities and things like that. It's about 30 seconds to walk from the fountain to lane, and each minion wave also takes 30 seconds to get to the lane. So if you think about it, if you take out the first current minion wave, right? Another one arrives, you clear that one out at the end, there's no way that another minion wave is going to get there before the enemy gets there, unless they go AFK or something. Because that second minion wave arriving has to be longer than 30 seconds because the first one arrived earlier than that. Does that make sense? So it has to be longer than 30 seconds when the potential third wave is going to get in there. You clear out the first one that's already there stacked up in the lane. You can wait on one more, that's the second one, to show up. It'll show up probably in under 30 seconds. You clear that one out, and then they're going to be back by the time that third one gets there. And when they show back up, they're going to stop you from backing, or at the very least, they're going to push it into your tower, and you're going to lose CS and experience. You don't want that. So the best option is usually just either clear the current wave and go back, or clear the current wave, and if the next one's showing up pretty soon, you can do the next one and then back. You can look at your own minion wave to see where their minion wave is. So if you look at to see if you have enough time to do another wave. While this is loading up, just try to land more autos in fights, especially early on. Just something that I mentioned before, just don't underestimate the power of auto attacks. Even though you're just a support, like early on, it's like 40 extra damage per attack. So if you land like 3 auto attacks in a fight, that's a lot of extra damage. So for example, if you see your minion wave, just glance, if you see your minion wave like right here, then that means that their minion wave is going to be right here because it always mirrors yours, right? And so you're like, okay, we just pushed this in. Do we have time? Or are they going to be here? You can see your minion wave right here, and you can say, okay, it's going to arrive at like maybe 5 seconds, 5 or 10 seconds. I think we have time to clear it. So you can clear it and go back. So you can always look at your wave to know where their wave is going to be in the lane because they're mirrored. Okay, so just more auto attacks and fights if you can get them off. Yeah, so try to give guaranteed kills to allies, especially high damage allies like Pyke and Caitlyn. You know, in hot situations, you can't always do that. If there's like a big team fight going on, it's like you just gotta go for the kill every time. Don't save your cooldowns and try to steal it, but you can't hold anything back. You just gotta make sure they die. But if it's like a situation where Caitlyn's charging her ult on somebody, you know, that's at 100 health, you can let that one go. Or like Pike is clearly going to catch that Thresh and kill him, you can let that one go, you know. So it is risky. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but it's nice if you can give over the gold to allies if possible, but you don't want them to get away. So number one priority is they die, but if you're absolutely certain they're going to die, then you can go ahead and try to give that away. Yeah, so let silly allies die. If people are going into bad fights, just let them die. Just don't go. Just say, no, I'm not going to do it. I mean, they might get mad and question mark you and say, why didn't you do that, dude? We totally had that. You don't even have to say anything. If they just, you know, if they're just persistent, they keep saying stuff, just mute them. Whatever. But just do not get, you need to be in the habit of being disciplined and just saying, no, I'm not going to do this stupid fight. And back up. Now, sometimes you might have to go in if your whole team is going in. But whenever possible, if it's like one person who's just going in on a suicide mission, then you just got to let them go. Just say it's not worth it. So tailor your itemization to suit the best win condition. I talk about this in my itemization video. I think about it. I talk about it in my macro video as well too. So watch my 5 tips of better macro. I think it's got a lot of good stuff in there for you. But you need to try to say, okay, who's my best chance to win and which items can I get to help them out? And so I think Pike was probably your best chance to win that game. And so I would have just gotten something like I said, either a Knight's Vow or a Shirelia's to play around that. You know, if you wanted to try to play around that Caitlyn, you could have gotten Ardent Censer. But yeah, Zizarot Portal's not going to help you. I hope I showed you that in the game. Like, it's a cool concept. It's just the numbers are abysmally low. It just does not do damage to minions. It still does okay damage to towers. Like I said, in niche situations, you might be able to use it offensively. But defensively, they nerfed it so hard that it doesn't help hold towers anymore. So just don't ever get that. Banner minion also, or Banner of Command is getting removed on this patch, so that's not an option either. So yeah, you just kind of have to go with team fight stuff. Like, Redemption could be good if you want more team fight pressure, but if you want to play around Assassins, I think either Shirelia's or Knight's Vow probably would have been the best option. But you could have also gone for a classic, you know, like Redemption, Ardent Censer, Athenes if you wanted, or not Athenes, but I mean, Athenes might be okay too in some circumstances, but I still think that like Shirelia's or Knight's Vow was probably the call, or both of those, and then just get really good vision. Which is my last point I'll make. Just get really good vision on the map. You know, watch my macro video. I talk about vision a lot in there. You need to get really good vision, then that will enable your assassins like Akali and Pike to pick up some easy kills. It destroys the enemy morale, gives you a little bit of gold, stalls out so they can't push your waves as effectively. And the best thing, you know, for that is probably, I like Zeke's because you can put that on anybody. You can put that on Akali and Pike and it's still worthwhile. Versus Ardent Censer is only attack speed and on-hit damage, which isn't less on-hit damage, which isn't as useful. It's okay. It's not amazing. But then Shirelia's will help Pike or Akali run people down, especially after they flash, which is really nice. And then Knight's Vow just helps them survive a little bit more when they're going in for that. So they can win more all-ins. But yeah, that's going to be it. So thank you very much. Hopefully this helps you out a lot. Once again, anyone out there watching, you want a coaching session, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. We can set that up. If you watch a lot of content on the channel and you enjoy it, don't forget to like and subscribe. It does help other people find the channel. It'll give you updates. It'll let you know whenever I have new content coming out. And that's going to be it. Have a good day. I'll see you next time.